Ooh, things are getting spicy on Salon Sunset. There is some new drama as Chrishell Stause is threatening to quit, and she's not afraid of a lawsuit. We have Kristin Cavallari, who's opening up about her bedroom life with Mark Estes, her 24-year-old boyfriend. And Tamra Judge's mom says that her face disgusts her. Let's get into it. You're listening to No Filter with Zach Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. Hi, guys. Good morning, San Francisco. No, it's not San Francisco. It's Los Angeles, or at least that's where I'm at. And I know we got a lot of you guys from all around town. Atlanta, Georgia in the house. What's going on, Lauren from Atlanta, Georgia? What's up? Okay, so we have a lot to get into. Well, sort of. But one of the biggest things that came out of this weekend is all of the Selling Sunset drama, which we'll get into in a sec. We also have Kristin Cavallari. I was listening to her podcast. What is it? To Be Honest? Let's Be Honest is what it's called. And she had her boyfriend, her 24-year-old boyfriend, Mark Estes. Oh, we have Van from South Africa. Hello, South Africa. Michelle from LA. Did you guys do anything fun for Labor Day weekend? Did anybody go camping? Did we go, to the mountains, to the beach, to the windows, to the walls, to the sweat drop down them balls, all them people crawls. Oh, ski. Whew, what did I do for Labor Day week? Nothing crazy. I really wanted to keep it chill. Had a recovery weekend. I hit my miles at the gym. My goal for the month of August was to run 75 miles. And I'm proud to say that I ran 84 miles. So I added in an extra 9 miles that I ran. And so I was like, okay, now that the month is over, I'm gonna give my body a little bit of a break, a little bit of a rest weekend before we jump back all into it again. So, or we get back into the regular fitness routine. But yeah, that's not bad, right? 84 miles. I ran 84 miles in the month of August, which I feel very good about. And I've run 0 miles for the month of September so far. So, and I have the shin splints to prove it. But yeah, hopefully you guys had a fun Labor Day weekend, fun long weekend. Let's see, what should we start with first? I did binge Pretty Little Liars. What do you think? I think I said on the podcast yesterday, I had a Pretty Little Liars binge, and so I'm almost done with the series. Well, because I started after the time jump, which is the second half of season 6, and there are only 7 seasons total. So I finished season 6, and now I'm getting through season 7, which is the last season. It's very good. And I also saw on Hulu that there's what is it? The mother-daughter experiment. Have you guys seen that show? It was on Lifetime, and it was where all of I think Courtney Stodden came in with her mom, Kim Richards came in with her daughter, Heidi Montag came in with her mom. And that's where you see Kim Richards and what was it, Natalie Nunn, and they got into that fight. Remember, and Kim's getting in her face, and she's like, "Kim, don't take off your sweater." And Kim's right there taking off her sweater. She's like, "Kim, don't take off your sweater." And she's like, "I don't like the way you're talking to these girls." And Kim's bucking up to her. And I was like, damn, Kim's gangster. Kim may be a child star from Beverly Hills, but Kim is scrappy. Kim's ready to pull out the Vaseline, and, she's got knives in her pockets. Kim was wild, but I was thinking that might be fun to watch. I've never watched it. So I don't know. Maybe we'll actually go. Ooh, Catherine from Puerto Rico. Hello, Puerto Rico. We are all over the globe today. Okay. So yeah, I think mother-daughter experience. Maybe we'll add that to our watch list and discuss. But yeah, I've also been catching a lot of clips of Teen Mom, the new season. Teen Mom, is it not Family Reunion? What is it? Teen Mom OG. But there's a version. I don't know. But where Amber, Macy, and Caitlin, and Amber just got proposed to by her, her naked mole rat looking boyfriend before he runs away. It's so weird watching all of the engagement and the relationship play out on the show. I haven't actively watched the show, but I've been watching the clips and the updates. Amber's story specifically, because Leah wants her stepmother to adopt her because, that she feels like it's her real mom. And then somebody did a montage video where they were putting together like all the scenes of like Leah and Amber together over the past several years and over the different seasons. And like you can tell Leah does not like her mom and like really likes Christina, who's her stepmom. And Christina, I feel like has really stepped up and been more of like the mom. The next chapter is what it's called. Thank you, Laura. So yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk Selling Sunset because Chrishell Stause is threatening to leave. So, Selling Sunset, which is the Netflix show, they just released the Netflix real estate show. They just released their trailer for season 8. Chrishell and Chelsea Lascani, Chrishell and Chelsea, they're now calling out production. They're naming producers, calling out the production company, and they're calling out Nicole Young, who's a co-star. Catherine says you and Heather McDonald should do a podcast together. That would be fun. We've done it. I've gone on Juicy Scoop. She's come on No Filter. So we've definitely done it in the past. I would love to. Yeah, we should do something again. Um, but so yeah, Chrishell and Chelsea are calling out Nicole Young because apparently there's a rumor that Nicole brings up on the show this season, and I guess it's a rumor about Emma Hernan, who's also on the show. So these are all cast members on Selling Sunset. And so I guess Nicole has some sort of rumor that comes up about Emma. And so now Chrishell and Chelsea aren't happy about it. So they're popping off on social media. So they posted several Instagram stories over the weekend trashing Nicole, trashing Nicole and calling Nicole trash. So they're slamming her as a liar. They're claiming that they have no interest in filming with her moving forward. Chrishell specifically said, I will never work on a show with her on it again. I would rather be sued. She also warns that Nicole is the one that put out this rumor about Emma and that it's categorically false and super damaging, which makes me think, like, what is the rumor? Like, what did they say about is it a cheating rumor? Um, and then Chrishell ended up taking a jab at Done and Done Productions, which is the production company that produces Selling Sunset for Netflix. And she even names Adam DeVello. And so, because she claims they blindsided Emma with this rumor rather than allow her to defend herself on the show. So I'm assuming there's something in the trailer that they picked up on. And then they were like, what the fuck was that in the trailer? And then they started asking questions of the other cast members and doing a little digging only to find out what the rumor was. So it sounds like the rumor was unbeknownst to Emma throughout the production, throughout filming. And now we know that the rumor is going to be coming up on the show because it was said on the show. So Jen says, I thought the rumor was that Emma is dating a married man. I thought so too. I thought it had to be like some sort of infidelity rumor, but whatever it is, they don't want the rumor out there. But the rumor, I mean, I got that impression in the trailer. I believe somewhere in the trailer, like there is some sort of rumor that comes, but we've learned not to trust the trailers because the trailers usually, can be a little misleading or deceiving sometimes. And when we actually watch it play out, so you never really know. But like, didn't we see this on what was it? Was it Selling the OC? It wasn't the last season. Yeah. Where there was the two guys and the rumor about the threesome, remember, with one of the guys is like, "Yeah, you and your wife asked me to hook up with you," and then they were fighting in the courtyard or in the back. I was like, "Oh, the gays are fighting." And so, yeah, I mean, they were hot. I would love to be a fly on the wall for that threesome, but apparently he was offended. He's like, "You're gross, bro. You're not even attractive, bro. You're not even attractive." And I'm like, "Really? You're commenting on whether or not you would actually sleep with this guy when he's accusing you of trying to have whatever." Um, I wonder if there's anything on Reddit about the Emma rumors, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm sure people have like theories about it. Okay, looks like there's a thread on Reddit, a Selling Sunset thread, where they dive into this. Let's see. Emma, yeah. I mean, I feel like people really like Emma. So are they trying to, like, ruin Emma's image, Emma's good graces? But what is the rumor? I think the rumor is I mean, is it really that damaging if you're sleeping with a married man? I mean, that's rich coming out of my mouth, and I know that, but, I mean, you know? Yeah, insinuating that she's a homewrecker. Yes, that appears to be what the rumor is. But again, this is just speculation. We don't actually know what the rumor is. Sarah says, don't really care about the subject, but I can't really start my day without Zach and the Zack Pack. Well, maybe this will make people watch the new season of Selling Sunset. I don't really watch Selling Sunset. I only really liked Christine Quinn because she was like a bitch on the show. But she came out and she's talked about how fake it is. And then we know Adam DeVello, who is a producer on Selling Sunset. He was also a producer on The Hills, and I remember there a lot of The Hills cast had drama because remember he was Kristin Cavallari had an issue with him because he was like promising the girls. There was like this whole fake storyline of Kristin Cavallari you know, having substance abuse issues and, the girls wanted to confront her on the show and Kristen's like, "I literally am not having these issues. Like, I don't get what you guys are talking about." But the girls were willing to bring it up on the show. That way they would get, they would they were promised like a Birkin bag or they were promised all of these things that I don't think they ended up really getting, but they did it for, these perks that the producers, Adam specifically, would promise them. So it looks like, you know, Kat says, I wonder what the homophobia accusations are about. I believe Chrishell called her a homophobe in her stories, and it could have been Chelsea also. Yeah, so Chrishell and Chelsea, that was the other thing, and that's what made the affair, that's what clouded, you're right. There was another story that they posted saying the only true homophobe is um is Nicole. She's the one that's the actual, was it just homophobe or did they also call her like racist or something? And then they said that like you're just trying to deflect from your own rumors because there are all these rumors out there about Nicole and Nicole wants to take the heat off of her and so she wants to throw the heat onto Emma. And so my thought, because I thought it was like a home wrecking rumor, but then when I saw the homophobe stuff, I was like, oh, is that why they're saying that it's so damaging and it's so false? Like, are there, is there some sort of rumor that comes up um, about like Emma's really homophobic or Emma's really, I don't know, everybody throws homophobic and transphobic and racist. Like everyone throws those terms around so loosely now that I feel like they don't even hold the weight that they did. Like if this were 2020 and you were calling somebody racist, that was like the worst thing you could call somebody. But now I feel like people just throw that around so loosely that it's kind of lost its weight. So if that's what they're reacting to, it's like, oh my God, everybody's now called racist for any little infraction that they've made. Um, even if it's not racially motivated. So I don't we don't know what the rumor is, and it looks like we're not gonna know until then. But like I said, Chrishell says that she would rather get sued than continue to work with her because the rumor is categorically false and super damaging, which makes me think, okay, maybe it is, you know? Jade says, "Don't they all sleep with Jason? What's the problem? Why the other twin never gets any girls? Why has everybody gotta be out here trying to sleep with Jason? Jason needs to stop being a hoe. Jason from Selling Sunset. I don't want anybody to clip that out of context. Jason from Selling Sunset. Sounds like a hoe. And then she calls out Dun and Dunn Production. She calls out Adam DeVillo because apparently they're claiming that Emma was blindsided by this rumor and didn't get a chance to defend herself on the show. Chelsea called Nicole a diabolical piece of trash. And then they also tagged Bree and Mary. So it seems like Oh, I honestly don't know what the deal is. No word from Emma though, so we'll see where Emma, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Um, who sounds like a hoe? Can Zach say the name and then say they a hoe? Jason from Selling Sunset sounds like a hoe. See, I was very specific, Joe. Okay, but that we'll see. When does is it the 6th or the 9th? Selling Sunset premiere. It's Friday the 6th, yes. Which also, speaking of Friday the 6th, um, the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives airs. I watched the whole show. I binged it. It comes out this Friday because I interviewed 2 of the cast members. Um, which will come out next Monday. But I think I'll release a couple of like little teasers or clips from the Mormon Wives show, but the full interview will drop this upcoming Monday. It's good. It's juicy. The show is really good. It's gonna give you the Salt Lake City housewives vibe. So what I'm saying is binge it this weekend because my interview with the girls drops on Monday and there are spoilers in the interview. So be sure to watch it this Friday. So I guess we have Sailing Sunset and we have the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Uh, but it's good. It's juice. It's fun. And listen, I binged it all in like 48, less than 48 hours. So you can binge it. I binged it in like 2 days. Yeah. I like watched half of the season, then the second half of the season. Then I watched, I think, the finale the morning of the interview, which was a couple of weeks ago now. But Secret Lives of Mormon Wives on Hulu. It's good. Heard it was so good. It's just juicy. So that's what I'm saying. Let's binge it this weekend so that we have it to discuss next week. But and then we have Selling Sunset as well, which I guess we can watch this weekend also. So I have to get Hulu this week. Yes, get Hulu this week. Go get Hulu. Watch it. Because all my friends that are like reporters that got to interview the cast as well, like we've all been talking about it because we can't talk about it publicly. So we have to talk about it with each other because we've got screeners. But yeah. Okay. That said, let's talk about Kristin Cavallari. Yes, Laura, that's your homework is to binge Secret Lives of Mormon Wives on Hulu. It drops on Friday, so you have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to binge it. Um, Kristin Cavallari. So she's dating one of the Montana boys, and they're these guys on TikTok. I don't really know what do the Montana boys do? Are they singers? The Montana boys create TikTok dancing, lip syncing, and sharing their cowboy lifestyle. I thought that's what they did. They just dance and lip sync on TikTok and they do like sexy cowboy dances. So, anyway, he's 24. Kristen's what, 37? I believe Kristin Cavallari is 37. Kristin, yeah, she's 37. He's 20. Wow. So, she's more than 10 years older than him. Good for her. He's hot, she's hot, but so they did a Q&A video. Did you see the video Joe made about her and Schwartz? I don't like to talk about Joe. She's just kind of weird at this point. She did like a montage video with all these like clips and photos of her and Schwartz together and she's like, "This is me saying goodbye." I was like, "Girl, we've been asking you to exit stage left for a while. It's been months now. Don't just let the mouse go, but you run with it. Go, girl, go. Run like the wind, bullseye. Run, Forrest, run. We're done." But so anyway, Kristin Cavallari and Mark Estes did a podcast together. He came on her podcast, Let's Be Honest, and they did like an unfiltered Q&A, and if they don't answer, then they have to take tequila shots. But then Kristin also revealed in that episode that when she does these tequila shot things that she usually isn't doing she doesn't take tequila shots. She says the first shot is usually a tequila shot, and then after that, they're all water shots. And I'm like, well, how are we ever supposed to believe that you're actually drinking? I just want you to know, I don't fake it anymore. I used to fake it. Remember when I had my wine line? Well, actually, no. Yeah. I used to drink fake alcohol when we would tape like in the mornings when it was like 9, 10 a.m. And I was like, here's my wine. And everybody be sure to get some wine. And I would record it. But I think those were pre records and they would air like the next day or whatever. But so I would be like, I'm drinking wine. Everybody get your wine. And what it was an empty can that I would fill with water. But then eventually I stopped doing that. I just, I don't drink in the mornings. I have coffee in the mornings. So if I have a morning taping, there's a good chance I'm not drinking alcohol and it is fake. Um, but when I do like my members only, I mean, I get lit. When it's an evening live, we get in lit tonight. But so they were actually drinking shots in this one. She made it clear it's Friday night. It's Friday night and the feeling is right. And so she's saying that I'm curious what you guys think of this. Kristin is saying that Mark, well, actually, the question was asked of Mark first. And the question was, is Kristin the best boom boom in the bedroom that you've ever had? And he said, yes, it is the best boom boom in the bedroom that I've ever had. Which, I mean, Kristin's experience. She's a 37-year-old woman. She's had lots of experience, right? Mark's in his 20s. And usually you're pretty cocky in your early 20s, 24. So he's, early to mid 20s. I'm sure he's been around the block a couple of times. But Kristin or she well, she didn't ask him, but the Q&A came up about Mark, and he says that Kristen was the best sex. So then Kristen asks, well, or did he ask? He did ask Kristen. He's like, "Am I the best sex that you've ever had?" And she kind of hesitates a little bit, and then she says, "Yes, you are the best sex that I've ever had." What's he gonna say? No. Yeah, that's my thing is like, what are they gonna say? No. No, you're not the best I've ever had when they're like currently in love with each other and like talking about having babies and all that. And they're still in like the honeymoon phase. But I guess my question to the live chat is, do we believe this? Do we really believe that Kristin Cavallari's best she's ever had is a 24-year-old Montana boy? I have my doubts. They both said that they've never faked an orgasm. Kristen said she's never faked it. Ever, ever, ever in her life. She's like, "Nah, I'm not gonna fake it. If you're not gonna do it, then you didn't do it for me." Or vice versa, "I'm gonna make sure you take me to completion." So, Joe says, based on Mark Estes' VPL, he could give it good. He has a good VPL. I've never seen his VPL. Um, they're standing right next to each other. Yeah, of course they're not gonna be like, No, you're not the best I've ever had." Like, what is she supposed to do? "Oh, yeah, that guy from 2 years ago, that was the best I've ever." But I'm like, "Really?" She was with Brody, she was with Jay Cutler, like, she's had a great, Kristen, wasn't she dating that one guy? Okay, Kristin Cavallari, a dating history from reality stars to NFL athletes. So she was dating Stephen Coletti, which I'm sure that wasn't amazing. She was dating Talon. I'm sure that one wasn't that amazing either because you're young. I feel like when you're young, you're not really good at boom boom in the bedroom. I feel like since entering my 30s, like boom boom in the bedroom for me has just gotten so much better. I don't know if it's a confidence thing or what, but like it is incomparable to I think you're just so insecure and you're like in your head a lot and you're trying to think of what you're doing, and you're trying to think of what like you're supposed to do and what like it's all about that, right? Whereas I feel like you gain a little confidence, you push boundaries a little bit more, you're willing to explore a little bit more, and you're just kind of like not as a you know all the tricks, you know all the tricks of your body, you know like what buttons you can push in other people. So I don't know. Okay, so let's see who else. So Stephen Coletti, yep. We had Talon, yep. We had Matt. Oh, he's hot. Matt Lenar. Who was he? Oh, he was a former quarterback star at USC, and then he went on to do Arizona Cardinals, Houston Texans, Oakland Raiders, and Buffalo Bills. He's hot. He looks like he can give it pretty good. Brody, right? We all remember Brody Jenner. I think Brody, I don't know. Do we think Brody's that good in bed? I think Brody's actually pretty good. To TBH. Nick Lachey, I don't think Nick Lachey is good in bed. I don't know. He doesn't give me good in bed vibes. Nick Zano, from What I Like About You. Oh, I remember him now. He looks fine. Chris Evans, I don't think Chris Evans is good in bed at all. Oh, Justin Bobby, you guys. Justin Bobby, knows how to lay some pipe, right? Justin Bobby, yeah. Miguel Medina, don't know who that is. Jay Cutler was her ex-husband. She also dated. I feel like Jay Cutler was pretty good. But I also feel like Jay Cutler was maybe a little lazy in bed and maybe wouldn't do as much. And then there was the comedian Jeff Dye. He's cute. He seemed like he would have been fine. Oh, she was dating Chase Rice casually. Country singer. Casually. Chase Rice looks like he knows what he's doing. I think Chase Rice was probably some of the best sex she ever had. But does Justin Bobby know how to shower? Eh. Chris Evans is nice and thick. Is he? Is he? I don't know if he is. I heard Brody is pretty bland in bed. Yeah, I would think Brody might be pretty bland. I think Justin Bobby would be better than Brody for sure. Kristen said Jay Cutler was great at oral. I believe that. See, here's the thing. At 24 years old, you don't know those tongue tricks. You know what I mean? Jay Cutler knows some tongue tricks. That beard has seen some fluids. I don't believe Montana Boy is really that good as she's claiming. First of all, she was kind of hesitant to answer it, and then she did say, like, do we really believe some 24-year-old TikTok dancer is the best she's ever had in bed. Maybe connection-wise because they seem to, like, be so in love. Do we think that they're really in love, or is this kind of an infatuation? I think they have a really good, deep connection, but, like, you don't really know somebody, and you can't really, like, fall deep, deep, deeply in love with somebody unless you've been in each other's lives for a very long time, no? Am I crazy? Did I just fall out of a coconut tree? I don't know. Sarah says, "I guess I'll have to try them all before I give my opinion." I do believe that Jay Cutler has great tongue skills, but I also kinda like, based off of looking at all these guys, I think Chase Rice probably was great in bed, and then now she's dating Mark Estes. I don't think Mark Estes is the type of guy that watched some porn, and based off of that, he thinks he knows what to do because he saw, where the loudest moans were in these certain scenes, and that's what he tries to do. Kat says, I can't imagine being into a 24-year-old at 38. I can't imagine being into a 24-year-old, and I'm 31. Like, I'm closer to his age, and I could not date somebody in their 20s. At the youngest, I would like maybe like 28, 29. I don't know. But, like, it has to be, like I feel like end of like, your late 20s are a little different. I could not do anybody younger than 25. No, anybody younger than 27. 27 has to be the cutoff for me. And, like, really, I have to really make like, I would prefer, like, maybe 29. I don't want anybody younger than their 30s. Like, you would have to be an exceptional exception to make it past that. I don't know. I just feel like you're not like your brain's not fully developed in your early 20s. You're just not all there. And you certainly don't know what you're doing in the bedroom. Even when you think you do, because that's I think when you have a lot of like think you confidence. So Joe says I volunteer as tribute to objectively verify and rank the best to worst lovers. I should do that. Be like, here are all the guys. Um, here are all the guys. Oh, Montana boy. Wow. Montana boy. See, but I've also heard from a lot of ladies that like size can help, but size doesn't always matter because sometimes the guy has the size, but he doesn't know what to do with it. Lexi says, Zach, you're literally my favorite podcast. I asked Redacted why he deleted his tweets and thinks you stole his content, but he reported my comment. What? I don't even know how to report a comment. So there you go. I'm very curious what content I was accused of stealing. Again, Redacted has also tried to do this to Empire as well. I shouldn't say that, but I did. Oh well. Happy Tuesday. He's done this to other people. So Redacted is known for doing these things to people, other people, making these accusations, which are false. It's funny, you're not that original, but everyone keeps stealing your content. I guess it's easy to rip off mediocre these days. Marianne Stout says 20-year-olds don't have a clue what to do. You have to be the teacher. I think that's why he likes Kristen because he's like, oh, Kristen knows what to do. Kristen's teaching me all these fun tricks. Look, and we're hanging from the ceiling. Like Kristen is giving him the cheat sheet, right? He's jumping, a decade in advance. Love you, Lexi. Sarah says, I'd rather be with a lesbian in a man. I'd rather be with a lesbian in a man's body. What? I'd rather be with a lesbian in a man's body. Why is a lesbian in a man's body? I would rather be with a lesbian in a man's body. I don't get it. I don't get it. Lexi, the podcast with Monica got so much backlash. They did a whole new episode on it. I'm only listening to laugh. Why did it get backlash? I actually don't care. That was more on thumbnail templates, which anyone can do with Canva, not that hard. I know that, Joe. But what I'm saying is the accusations get thrown out there a long time. Listen, all the accusations that have been made against me from Redacted have all been proven to be totally false and baseless. So I feel confident. I'm pretty good. My track record is pretty clean. It's messy, but I mean it's clear. People love to steal your content. I honestly don't care if they do, to be honest. Pamela says, I know a lesbian in a man's body. I could arrange that. You know a lesbian in a man's body? Who is the lesbian and why is she in a man's body? What is she doing inside the man's body? Is she like, you know, giving him a colonoscopy and that's how she ended up inside his body? Except for the fact that Zack did, in fact, fuck the husband. Shut up, Joe. I did not fuck the husband. Marion says, especially when you don't even agree with redacted. Oh, he reports and blocks you. Oh, I don't do that. Yes, she is transitioning. But what does that have to? What does somebody transition have to do with the best sex you've ever had? We're getting way off topic now. I'm very confused. Wow, Marianne Stout has been a member for 23 months. Wow, I can't believe we even have had memberships for 23 months. Thank you, Marianne Stout. Marianne Stout is a loyal one. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, that said, miss moving on. But I don't believe that Mark Estes is the best that Kristen's ever had, but I do believe Kristen is the best that Mark has ever had. And then the rest of what else did they say in the podcast? Yeah, they never faked it. Kristin Cavallari is the one that pursued him. He kind of made a move in the DMs, and then she's the one that really went after him, and she invited him out. And she did the me move. And I can say it's the me move because I had a podcast before her. And so typically what you do is say, hey, do you want to come on I would love to have you as a guest on my podcast. If you see someone online and they're kind of cute, but they're kind of cute, but they're kind of cute, but kind of shit. What is it? Damn, I lost my train of thought. But anyway. Oh, we have a Chris Evans leak too. Joe? Oh, no way. That's not Chris. That's not real. There's no way that that's real. I don't believe that that's actually real. Chris Evans? How would we see? How do we know that that's actually him? I mean, that's his booty because he did the scene in the movie, but I don't know. He had an interview and owned up to it. But how did you find it? Show us, Zach. Yeah, I'm going to show you on the internet. What do you think? I fell out of a coconut tree? You're going to get my YouTube channel taken down. Liza's watching from Canada. Hi, Liza. I was a follower of yours for over 5 years, but didn't realize you had a podcast. Well, thank you, Urka Pie. On that note, guys, I do have a very special guest. You've seen us together a couple of times, hanging out on the gram. I just did his new podcast, which is called In Bed with Bruno. So you may recognize him from RuPaul's Drag Race. Here to spill a little tea with me, I got Mr. Bruno himself, Bruno Alcantara. Hello.
That's me. Hello, everybody.
How are you? People may remember you from Disaster Daters, and now you needed to come and get some no filter action.
That's true. That was so much fun as well. I guess we have a lot in common, more than we thought.
Has your dating life improved?
I mean, I like to say that a little bit better every day, giving
Okay.
being a little optimistic.
Okay. So you have you just launched your new podcast, In Bed with Bruno.
It's very exciting.
Yes, you just launched the first episode. It's on YouTube right now.
It
Look,
is.
everyone's so excited to see you. Jen says hi. Pamela says hi. Kat says Bruno's so hot. Well,
Oh,
Bruno, so I got in bed with Bruno. I don't know when our episode comes out, but it's obviously going to be the most watched episode of the show.
it was so much fun. I mean, we are flirting for hours in my bed.
Yeah. I
I'm
taught you how to make out.
Yes, you're telling me what is the ideal kiss,
Mm-hmm.
and
And
so you
have you
guys.
practiced more since then?
I mean, I've been trying.
Yeah,
Nothing crazy.
nothing crazy.
I'm
Well,
probably better at it.
you're supposed to have a summer of love.
I know.
Oh,
Just
Joe
mhm.
has a question for you. Joe wants to know, has there been any guest on In Bed with Bruno that Bruno has gotten in bed with before filming?
Wow. No, no. The answer is no. Not
Has
yet.
there Oh, so there's still
Not
chances.
before. Not before.
Not before, but I think Margaret Cho got a second dip. So
No.
you've had a lot of guests. You had Margaret Cho on, you had me on. Who else can we expect this season?
Dexter Mayfield, influencer, actor, dancer. We had Vincent, singer, songwriter. So much fun. Margaret Cho, you, and Mo Hart. And each one's very different. So you all brought something, different stories and very interesting in your own way.
Yeah,
You made Taylor Hale, full of light and love, and we had a great chemistry as well.
yeah.
So it made my bed very special. So my bed is definitely a hot spot now.
Yes. So we were just talking about, I don't know, do you know who Kristin Cavallari is? She used to be on the Hills in Laguna Beach.
Hmm.
So we were just talking because she just did a podcast. She's 37 and her new boyfriend is 24, and they think that they're madly in love. And they said that them coming together is the best sex that they've ever had. And my argument is he's 24. A guy at 24 is not the best sex you're ever going to have. Like, you don't really know what you're doing at 24. Or am I wrong? Are you having some great sex with some 24-year-olds, Bruno?
Uh, I agree with you. I think you can get better with the time. I think you learn new things. I do think that nowadays the kids are wild out there, very free.
Yeah.
So, you know, you never really know. It's funny because I just read that. I saw something, the article about it, and the
Yeah.
pictures of them. I mean, they look amazing together, by the way.
They do. They're a hot couple. Do you think that they'll last? It's what, a 13-year age difference?
Uh,
Are
you
you
know,
I
oh,
mean, the age gaps. Are you a big age gap person?
I used to love older people, and now as I get older, I meet some people that are younger sometimes,
Well,
but
yeah,
it doesn't need to be. I think whatever feels right in the moment. Sometimes you
yeah,
meet somebody, and I don't have this. It needs to be older or younger. No, there's no rules.
yeah. Well, the hard part too is you can date older when you're like in your 20s, but then like as we get older, the older guys get even older, and then pretty soon it's not cute to be dating an 84-year-old, you know?
Yeah,
Where when you're in your 20s, you're dating a 37-year-old,
yeah.
that works. Or a 40-year-old. Okay, fine.
It
What's
feels
the
hot. Yeah, you're like, oh my
Yeah,
god, I'm so yeah. And I feel like people they represent something that you don't have yet. Sometimes, that confidence and so many things that you are still like wanting to have.
yeah.
And then
But
after a
like,
while,
yeah, I'm not taking an 84-year-old seriously unless he's got like some money, and then I love him. We're in love
forever.
forever, and until death do us part.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I could do it. I don't know. I could do like a Hugh Hefner sort of situation, right? Just
What do you think is the when was your favorite like it was a specific age for your like best sex?
I feel like the older I get, the better sex is getting. So for me right now, I feel like I'm having really good sex. Um, I mean, I don't.
And why is that? Do you think it's because you just feel more comfortable? Because you know better what you're doing? Because you
Yes,
choose better the partners?
I think for all of those reasons. I think when you're in your 20s, like early to mid 20s, you don't really know what you're doing. You don't really know what you like. You're insecure because you think, even though that's probably, for a lot of people, that's where they look their best. I think they're just the most insecure with themselves, with their body, and with their performance. And like they just don't feel like they're measuring up. And so they're constantly in their head about what they're supposed to do. And I think by the time you get to your 30s, you're like, I don't care about what I'm supposed to do. I care about like what I am, like I'm enjoying the moment and I know what I like. I know how to ask for what I like. I'm not afraid to ask for what I like. And it just gets better because you gain that confidence and that assurance within yourself.
Amazing. Makes sense.
Do you agree?
Any specific stories that made the sex very bad or awkward?
Hello, I have a whole podcast called Disaster Daters that talks about all my bad dating,
I mean, you have a
awkward
lot.
dating experiences. Joe asks, if you had to pick one for the rest of your life, what would you pick? Cuban D, Brazilian, or black?
Oh my God, pick one. Come on now, Joe. uh, I love Brazilians. It's my people. You know what I mean? It's just the fact that we speak the same language. It makes so much easier.
Yeah.
I also think that Brazilians are very special, different energy. In general, it's nice to be around. We are very passionate. I feel like we have this talent to make people fall in love for us in one night stand. And I think that's very positive.
Yeah.
It usually can be an unforgettable experience. And so I do love Brazilians.
Yeah. So last time I talked to you on Disaster Daters, you were talking to somebody, right? You like went on a date with somebody and it was like kind of going well. Do you have any updates on what's going on?
That was one time only. It's funny because it was a good date, I would say.
Yeah. Why do they always do that? They're always like, let's go on a really good date. Let's have a really good time. And then at the end of it, I'm never going to talk to you again.
Yeah, we did not have sex, but we had a great conversation, very meaningful, deep, and all that. But you know what? I don't know. Is it his fault or my fault? We never reach out to each other anymore. So
why didn't you reach out to him? See, you're part of the problem.
I know. Yes, I am. Sometimes I am. I have to admit.
So why go on a really good date with somebody and then not follow that up?
I think, yeah, I'm part of the problem because one thing that comes to my mind is how bad do you want it? Show me. But I feel like if we all think that way,
yeah,
what is going to happen? Nothing's going to happen.
True. I think you just have to lean into it if you really like it. Okay, I have a friend right now and he's dating and I've been telling him he needs to take things very, very slow, right? Because he hasn't been dating for a really long time. He's just starting to put himself out there. He's also new to like the dating scene in LA. And I'm like, the dating scene in LA can be very tricky. Like, just be mindful. And my thing is, even if you really like someone, keep your options open because if you hone in too much on one person, I think you can catch feelings too fast. You get too caught up in the moment. I think when you do get too caught up, you can ignore maybe some red flags or some things that you wouldn't be cool with because you're kind of like blinded with the rose colored glasses. And so now he's already like, they've only gone on a couple of dates and like he already posted him on Instagram on stories, like a cute photo on Instagram. I think it was like the close friend circle. So I probably shouldn't be saying that, but still he posted a photo like with him. And I'm like, oh my God, this is way too much.
Wow. So he's like in love.
He's all in.
I mean, that's cute,
Is it, or is that moving too fast? It's only been like 2 or 3 dates.
It's nice to see people excited about somebody because I feel like everybody, they just pretend like they don't care.
Yeah.
Or they really don't.
Okay, put yourself in the shoes of this other guy, right? If maybe there is a quick connection. Well, actually, this did kind of happen to me recently. But like, let's say there is a quick connection and then somebody posts a photo of you on their Instagram. Is that a red flag?
Well, in my case specifically, I like to keep my private life for me.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people knowing about or being public can really mess things up.
Yeah.
So if you see a man on my page, they are friends.
Okay.
We are not having sex. We are not, it's nothing romantic.
Yeah.
If you see men, they are my friends.
Okay.
So I probably wouldn't like it
Yeah.
because I feel like in order to make this happen and for us, keep going with the relationship, whatever it is, let's keep for ourselves. And
Yeah.
maybe after a while, when everything is very serious and very solid and consistent, stable, maybe we can just show everybody about.
Yeah. See, I'm the complete opposite. I put all of my life is out there. All of my dating life, my personal life, my family life, like it's all out there, which has made things really challenging. But I've gotten to the point where I think when it comes to like me dating somebody, I think I would really want to make that private first. And so there was somebody that I was like seeing, we went on, a few dates and we're talking um and I do remember we went on a date one time and he took a picture of us together. I think it was like our second date. And he took a picture of us together and he was going to post that on Instagram. And I was like, I feel like that's like way too soon. Like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't want anybody to know. Like, especially because I also know like everybody here in the live chat can verify that the second they see, I mean, even when I post anybody, they automatically think that, oh, are you dating them? Are you sleeping with them? Like, they run with their wild theories. And I'm like, it's somebody that I actually am dating and sleeping with. I don't know if I would want to put them out there so soon.
So, how was it for him? What did he say?
Nothing. I mean, he did end up, so he didn't post the photo of us, but he did post a photo from where we were. We went to like a concert and he did post a photo from the concert and he tagged me in the photo. I didn't repost it because I think I'd even said on my podcast that, oh, I'm going on a date tonight. And I was like, if I post this, then people are going to know that like this is the guy that I'm on a date with and they're going to like look him up and like all of that stuff. And it was just too, I don't know, it's a little bonkers.
Uh-huh. Well, I think it's amazing when they both are on the same page and wanting the same things, and the chemistry, the connection is just right for both sides. So then you can both go crazy or not.
I
But
just think
then,
it's best to always take it slow.
I mean, I think it's smart.
Yeah.
It's mature. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Joe asks, Drag Race, was there ever a Drag Race contestant or guest judge that you've tried to hook up or that has tried to hook up with you, and how many successfully have done it? And was one of them Vanessa?
No, that never happened. I love how people love to know.
I
uh, I mean, my sexual life is not as exciting as everybody thinks, I guess. No, that never happened before. We are very professional when we do the show. We have a lot of fun. The environment is very friendly and happy and all that, but no, that never happened before.
Yeah. Joe says, all good, been there, done that. Joe's referencing my confirmation of a situation with somebody the other day. I finally just owned up to it on Instagram. Ida, this is Bruno. You may recognize him from Drag Race, RuPaul's Drag Race. He has a new podcast coming out called In Bed with Bruno. I'm a guest on his podcast. You're going to want to tune in. Is this the same guy that ran into your mom? Oh, yes. Not Bruno, but so the guy that was going to take a photo or that was going to post a photo of us on Instagram. We ended up going out one time to a bar in WeHo, which I normally don't do very often. And while we were there, we ran into my mom, who was also hanging out at the same bar in WeHo,
Oh,
which was
wow.
like super awkward. So he also like got to meet my mom super early.
Wow.
It was a lot.
One step closer to the.
It's done now. It's done now.
Oh, wow. What is going on now? Who are you going out with?
Nothing. I'm not going out with anyone right now.
But you told me in bed with Bruno in your episode, you said, I'm not the type for marriage.
I I think I said I'm more of the divorce type than the married
Yes.
type.
Oh, you said in your podcast, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know if I would. The idea of like getting married to somebody like gives me like anxiety because it's just, I don't know. Are
What are you
you
most afraid of? Is it are you afraid of yourself?
I
How
think
you gonna behave? Or
I
they
was
gonna behave?
I was thinking about this. I think for me it's more of like I don't know, I don't know if I'm like, I don't know if anybody would ever like want to propose to me. I feel like I'm a lot and my life is a lot. And like, I don't know if anybody's like realistically, I don't
Oh
know.
my God. I'm sure you find it if you want to. I mean,
I'm just the idea of like, I don't want a wedding. I know that. Like the idea of like having a wedding to me is like so cringy. Um, and then like the commitment to somebody, like I don't know if I would like want like that's like a big commitment.
I mean, it is. But listen, we're gonna have to talk about this, otherwise, we're not gonna end up together.
Very true. Joe says, spicy drag race. How much can you confirm or deny about whether there are charges to be pressed by drag race staff against the Worlds of Wonder because of all the stars? 9 girls in production. Oh, I don't know anything about this.
I don't know anything about it, honestly, Joe.
Sorry, Joe. I don't even sorry, Bruno. I don't even watch um
Drag Race?
Drag Race. I haven't seen
Oh,
it. I've
hey,
seen all your
it's
scenes.
time. It's time. It's amazing show. And
Well, I went to DragCon for the first time.
see, so we are closer. So now you start, you watch one, and then you see, oh, this is fun. This is exciting, and this is deep, and it's very, very good show.
Yeah, and that's how you like it deep.
Meaningful. Yeah.
Very mindful, very tuned.
My,
I think we need a part 2 of Zach in bed with Bruno. You haven't even watched part 1 hasn't even come out yet. You don't even know what we talk about in part 1.
yeah, but the one's coming, and I told him my bed is always, he's gonna be always welcome my bed.
Are there going to be more in bed with Bruno episodes to
I
come?
mean, yeah, we're gonna do season 2 in a second. And now that the world is gonna, find out that my bed is a hot spot, I want
Oh, there
I
we
want
go.
everybody to want to be in bed with Bruno.
I want everybody to be in bed with Bruno too, because it is a good time. And you guys can subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah.
What's the YouTube channel? In Bed with Bruno?
It's Bruno Alcantara. But if you search In Bed with Bruno, you're gonna find.
So everyone has to go search, subscribe, comment, but make sure you leave lots of comments when my episode comes out. And you have to go and show some love to Bruno's new podcast.
Send to your friends, to your enemies, to your family.
Season 2 will be On the Sling with Bruno. Oh, you're gonna up the ante.
I guess we have a lot of fun to have.
Yeah. Wait, are you said that you want to get married, right?
I do.
And you want a wedding and all that.
I do want it.
I don't want a wedding. To me, it just, I'm like, it like makes me so uncomfortable.
I may change my mind, but right now I would love to get married. But hey, I'm not even in a relationship yet. So,
Or what are you doing to date right now?
I'm trying to be a better person. I really believe that you have to become the person that you want to attract.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to become a better person in general, so that way I can attract the right person for my life.
Yeah.
And I don't think, and I'm not rushing because, I think it should happen naturally.
Yeah.
So I need a miracle.
Well, I don't know. I think you're right though. But like for me, it's hard like with dating apps because I feel like I don't like doing the dating app thing because like I don't know, you don't really get to like know who someone is through, like 5 filtered photos they put on Tinder, you know? Like you need to like and you also I think it's better to like put yourself in situations that your potential partner might also be in. That way there's like a chance of like meeting somebody that may be a little more compatible because they have similar interests.
That's true.
Like how are you meeting people right now? Are you just doing like the dating apps?
It's so, just if I go to an event and I see somebody that I like, or a friend of mine can just like, oh, this is this person, whatever. Besides that, I'm not really going on dates right now. I give myself, sometimes I go on 5 dates and then I wait for a while and then I can go again. But it's very, I'd rather to be with friends, having fun. Just sitting down and doing that whole job interview. It's very,
annoying.
Yeah.
Because it's like you have to do the small talking. Like, how are you? What are you like? And what are you doing? What's your favorite color?
Yeah. I think sometimes it's better if you have an experience with somebody and it doesn't feel like a date, but you just like, oh, we're watching this together. We're going, I don't know,
Yeah.
something more interesting. And then you're like, oh, I guess we have something in common. Oh, we
Yeah.
had fun on this. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't know. It's complicated.
I don't think Bruno and Stu would be a compatibility match, Joe. I don't think I don't think you know Stu.
No, I don't.
But you like more of like, you like other like hot, like Brazilian dudes.
Hey, I don't like to put labels. I've seen myself with so many different people. I think it's nice somebody that feels good to be around. You know what I mean? I think that also I'm gonna have to say this. I like attitude in the sense of people that know what they want
Yeah.
and they are not just like I like people that they are clear about what they want and they have attitude.
Yeah.
Because I think it needs to be both ways. You're not just like doing it all.
Yeah.
Another thing is, I hear a lot that you intimidate people. Come on now, I'm very approachable. If you come to say hi to me anywhere, I'll be
Yeah.
usually very nice, unless you do something very awkward and crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm very approachable. So come on.
Yeah, I think you're very approachable. You're very sweet. You're very demure.
I try.
Yeah. But I mean, I do think like because you do have like such a like fit body and you do have like a pretty face, that I think that can be intimidating sometimes. Like with me, I know it's not my looks that intimidate people. I'm a bitch. And I know that I have a really rough exterior that sometimes can, scare people off a bit. And I know I intimidate people in that ways. But I think with you, you're very sweet. And I think your looks, I think, can intimidate people sometimes.
But that's not on me. Do you see? It's not my fault. So hey,
It's true. It's true.
what? So am I gonna have to do everything just because you
Well,
feel intimidated? Oh,
no, I think the fact that you're putting yourself out there more, and like now you have your podcast, that people are going to see more of your personality, which I don't think people get to see much of your personality on Drag Race, that I think that will show people this other softer side to you that isn't as unapproachable, right? Because I think
yeah,
people think, oh, he's so hot that he's probably like out of you know, out of my wheelhouse, so they're not going to shoot their shot.
yeah. So should you a shot?
There you go. Shoot
Yeah,
your
I think they're gonna be able to connect with me in a different level,
Yeah.
probably after In Bed with Bruno, and hopefully they will say, "I want to be in bed with Bruno too."
Well, there we go. Now you guys can get In Bed with Bruno. His new podcast is called In Bed with Bruno. It's out now. First episode just dropped, so stay tuned. I'm going to be on. You also had on what? Margaret Cho. Who were some of the other guests you had on to refresh people's memories?
Taylor Hale from the Big Brother, Dexter Mayfield, Vincent. It was so much fun.
Well, guys, go subscribe, support, and tune in to In Bed with Bruno. He is also available on Instagram and on the OnlyFans.
Yes, I'm everywhere. Come on.
He's everywhere. What are your handles everywhere?
Bruno C. Alcantara.
Yep, Bruno C. Alcantara, Alcantara. I'll make sure we include it in the description below. That way, you guys can go follow and show some love. Sarah says, Zach, you need to watch Drag Race. Maybe I will. I think I'm going to have to start now.
Yes.
You're taping the new season, right?
Yeah, we are done already. So
Oh.
let's do a Drag Race session. And we're
Okay.
going to show everybody that you're there watching.
We'll do a recap.
There
Joe says a lot of us would like to connect with Bruno. We like to connect real deep.
Oh, wow. Joe, you're wild.
Joe's wild. Joe always makes it wild in the live chat. All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Love you. Appreciate you. I'll be back again tomorrow. And be sure to check out In Bed with Bruno. New episodes drop Fridays.
Every Friday, yes.
Every Friday. There you go. Which I don't drop new episodes in No Filter on Fridays, so they can get their fix from In Bed with Bruno.
There we go. That works.
There we go. You guys give me a follow at Just Plain Zach or follow the podcast at No Filter with Zach all over the internet. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.